For the dividend man in you, use this. I do. Speed stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. Hello, welcome back to Showbizentertainment, and I am still your reviewer. Do we really need another Frankenstein movie? This, I don't think about it. Okay, there's been many Frankenstein movies. Of course, based on the book by author Mary Shelley from 18 whatever 100 or something, and ever since then, there's been a buttload of Frankenstein movies. You know, all different types from movies like Young Frankenstein to the original Universal Frankenstein from 1931 to a lot of all these just really bad Frankenstein movies. And a lot of people associate Frankenstein with the monster, not really the creator, which is Victor Frankenstein, because just so anybody doesn't know, okay, Frankenstein is not the monster. Is not called. You don't call the monster Frankenstein. He's just a monster. He's not actually. But of course, the legend and the book has been associated with Frankenstein. So let's talk about Victor Frankenstein. Like I said, do we really need another Frankenstein movie? If we got a Frankenstein movie, it would have to be really good. It would have to be really convincing. It would have to, at the same time, a mixture of horror and drama, and man creates life persona without actually being dull, boring, and unoriginal. And with that in mind, it's hard to be like Victor Frankenstein. It's hard to be original. It's hard to push the envelope. It's hard to try to like an idea that pretty much has been, oh my God, has been overused. Like movie like I Frankenstein. That's the last Frankenstein movies we got. I haven't actually seen I Frankenstein because I was kind of like, okay, I know they got directed by makers of Underworld, and then I thought, okay, maybe I'll check it out. I haven't checked it out yet. Okay, so for those of you that are my subscribers, I haven't checked out I Frankenstein. I don't know if you guys have, but I have checked out this movie, Victor Frankenstein, and I must say this movie kind of concentrates more on relationships and useless in between banter, like between aristocrats. For the dividend man and all of us, use this. I do. Speed stick. Keeps me fresh. Anything less would be uncivilized. And Victor Frankenstein, and of course the legendary other character in the story, which is Igor. The movie kind of starts off with Igor like in a circus. He's a sideshow freak. Okay, the Igor on this movie is not the usual one that you're used to. You know, like the Igor that
Yes, master. Yes, master. Yes, master. Yeah. Yes, master. No, master. Yes, master.
no, it's not. It's nothing like that. Okay, he kind of like he finds him. He's the guy's basically mentally and physically abused. The guy has no like he has no backbone. He has no persona of his own because he's basically a sideshow freak. And Victor Frankenstein, of course, he liberates him. Not only liberates him, he gives him a kind of like a Jenny Jones makeover. Just think of Jenny Jones and those ridiculous makeover shows when Jenny Jones was on the air. That's basically what Igor got. He got a makeover, and so he after that he kind of starts to get some confidence. He speaks eloquently. He's basically like Igor becomes debonair. For the debonair man and all of us, use this. I do. Speed stick. Keeps me fresh. Anything less would be uncivilized. So I kind of thought this was out of place in my opinion as a movie fan. I think it was out of place for me to concentrate on Igor. I mean, I kind of like that that they meet. It shows the origins of not just the monster itself, and actually none of these stories have really talked about Victor Frankenstein per se. Maybe Hammer Films, from the UK, but um, this movie talks a little bit about Victor Frankenstein, and it kind of he's kind of like a narcissistic, self-centered.
Do not call me Frankenstein. Call me Frankenstein. Don't ever call me that. Call me Frankenstein. Never call me Frankenstein.
And another thing, he's very, he's kind of like, I think maybe Johnny Depp could have played this too, but he's eccentric, okay? So James McAvoy, this guy could play any role he wants. This guy could you could leave James McAvoy on a desert island and he'll still be able to play the role. You can have him come on a really awful movie. This movie's not too good though, but a really awful movie and he'll still perform to the beyond all expectations, beyond all movie standards, acting standards, and the guy does it. I mean, he's an actor. This is the classic case of an actor in a not so good movie. Movie's all right. It's not bad. I mean, there's some excitement on this movie. There's some great acting on this movie by the guy who plays Igor. I'm not really familiar with the gentleman's work, but this is kind of me getting introduced to him. So, um, and so he, and then comes the part where there's just a lot of in between talk, in between a lot of, like I said, aristocrats.
For the debonair man in you, keep yourself fresh all day. Use this speed stick. Anything less would be uncivilized for all you debonair men.
Because it's just useless things. It's like for the sake of putting the running time on this movie longer, so they have to put like a little bit of useless talk. Useless situations in this movie. They don't need to be there. I probably would have made the movie a little bit shorter, but it still would have did this movie justice if they just didn't put. I mean, every movie has its share of talk, of boring parts, but this is a really overused idea as far as we're concerned as movie fans. Frankenstein just really does not call anybody. But when I saw the trailers, of course, I was like, wow, I'm gonna check this movie out. And after that, you know what happens then? There's a scene where before he actually grabs a bunch of dead body parts and then stitches them together. What he does, he tries animals. It's kind of cool. So what I mean, I thought it was interesting. And so he uses a monkey, and a monkey looks like basically like a Frankenstein monster, cross between a monkey. So I thought it was kind of at the same time I thought it was kind of just out of place and a little bit lame, but they did it. So and then comes the part where the actual monster is made. Okay, they really you don't really where some movies concentrate more on the creature itself. In this movie, it concentrates more on the relationship between Igor and Victor Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein as like I said, a big time jerk. And one of the things that was shocking about this movie was it's a comedy, and I didn't really see too many. It's not like I was laughing, not like I was like, oh wow, this is really funny. I'm laughing. Oh, it really makes you smile a whole lot. Like whatever. It doesn't. There's no. I didn't really laugh a whole lot. I didn't really. I didn't laugh at this movie. I think it being trying to be a comedy didn't really work for me. It doesn't really work for me. This is not 16 Candles. This is not Don't Be a Menace to South Central. This is not The Breakfast Club. This is not Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. This is a Frankenstein movie. I know we had Young Frankenstein, but that movie was funny. Okay, this movie is not, and that's kind of what earlier on on, I didn't know that it was supposed to be like I guess a dark comedy, but to me, this is more of like this is more of an afterthought movie because there's been so many variations of this story of this book. So it's just really up to this point, we really need a good Frankenstein movie, a really good that's able to tell everything without seeming boring. A movie that could say make it exciting as well, with good sets, good costumes, good monster designs, good actors, and yeah, there's some good actors on this movie. You know what I mean? And then there's another part of this movie that I thought was kind of out of place. Okay, there's villains on this movie, meaning there's a bad guy in this movie. Bad guys, I get bad people on this movie that oppose Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein, and that's where I thought it was just a little bit out of place as well because I know that maybe they were trying to be fresh and original, but they weren't, and I thought that it just didn't make any sense to me to. The villain of this movie is as a whole really is just Victor Frankenstein and the creature itself because the creature is just basically a bunch of body parts reanimated and stitched together, and the monster has some kind of humanity, he has some kind of redeeming value, but he doesn't know what he's doing. He's basically a murderer, right? And but see, like I said, this movie doesn't really concentrate on the monster. It concentrates more on the relationship between Victor Frankenstein and Igor. Okay, this movie, don't think you're gonna see a classic tale of no, you're not gonna see that. No, forget about that. Don't even go there. Okay, what you're gonna see on this movie is what I've heard many critics call a combination, a really bad combination of Sherlock Holmes meets bad action movies. Okay, there, I said it. Because you guys remember the Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. So this kind of movie kind of cops off the cocktails of that movie in a way, and I kind of think it stands on its own in a way, but that's what they're saying. So I mean, I'm bringing it to you, and I'm telling you like how it is and what people are saying about this movie also. So like I said, don't really want to. Like I said, if I do another video one of these days, I'm not gonna really give away too much about the movie. So this is basically as a whole what this movie's about, And then I give this movie a 6 out of 10. I give it a 6 out of 10 because of James McAvoy. The guy's, he guy's a prodigy. Okay, he brings to the table a lot of energy, a lot of wittiness, a lot of intelligence, a lot of personality. So, you know what I mean? And like I said, I could have maybe if Johnny Depp would have did this movie, it would have seemed more like a Tim Burton movie then. But that was just an idea, okay? So if you enjoy my channel and you want to give me support this channel and give me a push here so I can get a better have a background, have everything I need, have more subscribers. You're enjoying my videos even though I'm doing these videos in my apartment for crying out loud. So but I always try to bring quality, and I try to do things to a professional level. Even I'm not, like I said, I do have some acting, some writing experience. I've done some dramas on the side, So I'm not. It's not like I'm some amateur that doesn't know what he's talking about. It doesn't really know film at all. I know what I'm talking about, thankfully enough, and that's why I decided to do this. Okay, like I said, if you want to support this channel, the Showbiz Entertainment, and you want to help me out, I see a lot of YouTubers begging for money here. So doesn't mean I'm begging for money, but I could use more subscribers. I could use more help to make this better, to make this quality, so people will watch my videos, so people will subscribe more to my channel, and then I can start making some money off of it. I'm not getting paid for this, okay? I'm just doing this for the love of movies. This is Showbiz Entertainment. subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys soon.